Hi guys, Nikki here from Kenilwood Pet Resorts. I wanted to do a YouTube video today as I'm doing with all of my clients. It'll be about 10 to 15 minutes long, and what this is doing, just due to COVID, this is taking out the lecture portion of our lesson. So you guys can watch this video before you come in for your lesson, and then when you come in, we will just automatically will start working. So really trying to minimize the time that clients are in our lobby. So I'm also sending home with you today a 2-page packet. It'll be in an envelope. The girls will hand it to you when you pick up today. And this is going to have everything that I'm going to go over today. And feel free at our lesson, if you guys have any questions about anything I'm going over, bring those questions to the lesson and I'm happy to answer any of them. So first full white sheet of our packets. We have 3 pillars when it comes to dog training, or the 3 pillars of dog training: timing, motivation, and consistency. Now, these 3 pillars are going to help us communicate properly with our dogs. So our first one is timing. So timing, as it refers to all dogs, is we've got about 1.3 seconds to influence, and that means either to reward or to correct our dog's behavior. It's very fast. To help with this timing, we're going to be using positive and negative markers, which I'll get to in just a second. But with timing, it has to be in the moment. That's how a dog's brain works. It cannot be after the fact. So we cannot correct them after the behavior has happened. And if they do something we like, we want to reward them in that particular moment. So timing is going to be very, very important. Moving on to our second pillar, which is motivation. There are 2 types of motivation. There's positive and there's negative. And I mentioned before with timing, to help with timing, we're going to use markers. So the markers we're going to use are positive marker whenever our dog is doing a desired behavior. We're going to use the word good, and we're going to follow it up with a treat. Really using something high value that your dog really likes. So every time they hear that sound or that word, good, the action happens and something yummy comes in. Our negative marker is going to be the word no. No, and we're going to follow it up with a correction, such as a pop on the leash, which I will show you guys during our lesson. So we want to try to use we want to be consistent with our words or commands that we use for our dogs. And we tend to use, as humans, we use a ton of different words. We tend to say, no, stop that, no bark, get down, get off of there, rather than just being very black and white. No means stop the behavior you're doing in this moment. Good means I like this behavior. So keeping it very black and white, very simple. The more simple and clear we can be with our dogs, the faster they're going to learn. So timing and motivation, very, very important. Consistency, that is our last element. That is key. Once again, a dog's brain is black and white. Either behaviors are okay or they're not okay. The more consistent we can be, the faster they're going to learn. So we want to make sure that as a family, we're all using the same commands, the same cues with our dogs, especially our marker words, good and no. And then I'll be coaching you along during our lessons, teaching you what commands and the sequence, how to reinforce those commands at home. But we really want to try to use all the same words. We also want to keep our commands very, we don't want to drag our words out or elongate our words. So we want to keep our words very short, quick, snappy sounds. So people will tend to say no, 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 and we get louder and we elongate that word. And then the dogs are like, what are they talking about? So very short, quick, snappy sounds, because dogs actually do not respond to the actual sound or the actual word. It's the sound. So we want to keep our commands very short. And if we are not consistent, our dogs are not going to be consistent with their behaviors. So once again, those are the 3 pillars of dog training: timing, motivation, and consistency. That's going to be the most important thing that I go over with you today. But more important stuff, the second full white sheet of your packet, leadership rules for pet parents. This is a list that we have put together, some kind of do's and don'ts in the home environment, ways that you can project leadership to your dog in all different areas. So really this sheet is getting you guys to think outside the box, that training is not just about our basic commands: sit down, walk nicely on a leash, come when called. Yes, those are very important, a very important part of the training process, but promoting leadership and our interactive behaviors are also another part of it. A few examples. We highly recommend, not to free feed your dog. That, you feed your dog, 2 or 3 times a day. You put the food bowl down, your dog eats, you pick the food bowl back up. So you control feedings. You have nice scheduled feeding times. Another thing, I feel this is very big, especially if we haven't seen our dogs all day. We tend to give this big emotional display of affection whenever we see our dogs. And a lot of times when we do that, our dogs are jumping, sometimes they get excited and tinkle on the floor, sometimes they're nipping at us, sometimes they're in just a super anxious state of mind. And anytime we are petting them, when they're in that state of mind, we are rewarding for that state of mind in that moment. So we kind of want to think about whenever we're petting our dogs, whenever we're interacting with them, if we're petting them, we want to kind of look at what they're doing. Do we like that they are jumping on us or pawing at us, or that they come up and they're like, and they're anxious? Because if they're in a state of mind that's not a healthy state of mind, we do not want to pet and reward them. We want our touch to be used as a positive, so it rewards behaviors. So in turn, we want to pet and reward them when they're doing good things and when they're in a nice, calm state of mind. Something that we will work on as we go through the training process, just a few other things on this sheet. We are going to we're going to walk through doors first. That's just another way to promote leadership to our dogs. Definitely dogs who have particular behaviors that either they protect, or they're frightened, they're nervous, they're worried when company comes over. Those are the kinds of dogs definitely that I would remove from places that you guys occupy, meaning the couches, the beds. We also don't want to allow our dogs to crawl and hide underneath things, so underneath tables, chairs, especially if they get into a worried or fearful state of mind. We don't want to allow them to go hide from it. We want to teach them and redirect them when they are out with us, which I will definitely be showing you guys at our lesson. More importantly, a few other things. As leaders, we want to be calm. We want to be fair. We want to be confident. We don't want to set our dogs up for failure. So we don't want to give our dogs a command that we know we cannot reinforce. So that would be setting our dogs up for failure. Also, as leaders, so as parents, especially children in the home, we want to make sure that our children are being fair to our dog, and then also the dog is being fair to the children. So also watching out for those things. But once again, there's more things on this sheet. I'm not going to go over every single detail, but I'm going to send this home with you guys. That way you can look over this, you can kind of watch this video, and then like I said, you can bring any questions to our lesson that we have, and I'm happy to answer those. So yeah, that's all I have for you today, and I will see you guys tomorrow at your lesson. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.